Hey there internets, I'm Michael and this is Two Can Play That Game with a review of Deathbot Derby by Royal N Games. So what is Deathbot Derby? Well, let's take a look at the box here. We have a robot, another robot, and then Flamethrower Evil Death fighting. So it's about two robots fighting, and that is exactly what it is. In this game you have a grid of cards laid out, you're moving around, shooting, hitting, destroying your opponent. The first person to destroy their opponent wins. Why don't we take a look at the table to show you exactly how that works. So in Deathbot Derby, each player will have to pick a colour. So once you've done this, you then draft and build your robot. So here we have the blue robot, which for its wheels movement has drafted the scythed wheels, making it ultra. For its ranged weapon, the flamethrower, so it's ultra burn, and its melee weapon is a taser, so it's ultra burn Zord. So still to go is the secret weapon. So to do the drafting, you take 3 cards from the deck, and then the player will look at them and they'll go, this is an interesting one, this is an interesting one. Well, I will take the net gun. And then they pass the cards to the other player who will do the same, and then the last card goes back to the deck. So the players will alternate taking turns, and on each turn they will get 2 actions. Those actions can either be used to move or to attack. Additionally, they can press their panic button, which has 4 uses in total. When they do this, it's a free action. They roll the dice, and then they look at the cards that match that number. Any that match that number, so we rolled 4, so this 4 for example, you just flip over. So that's one option they can do. Additionally, as a free action, they can use their secret weapon. And each player has one of these, and they are a one-use thing. So let's skip ahead and take a closer look at the action. And it's the blue player's turn. They're going to use their first action to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And their second action, they want to attack, but normally you can't attack diagonally, but their flamethrower here allows them to attack diagonally. So this has 2 damage and a range of 2, so they simply attack, they hit, they do 2 damage. To mark the damage, the player turns their armour to 2, because that's 2 less than 4. When the armour gets to 0, you flip it to armour disabled. Once the armour's disabled, then a player's additional components can be targeted, such as their wheels. So they could destroy these, they've only got 2 hit points, and then they are down to only 1 speed, or they could attack their ranged weapon or their melee weapon. And once everything is destroyed, that player is eliminated. So that is Deathbot Derby. Well, what do I think? Let's start with the artwork. It's kind of a little basic, but it feels thematic. It feels like it works within that whole Rust Yard robots fighting kind of feel. You know, it's not this super nice artwork, but it's in no way offensive, and it works. Then let's talk about the graphic design, because the way these work is lovely. With the numbers around the end, just turn it to do your hit points. Really nice, reduces the need for other tokens, paper, things to track your damage. The cards are doing it all, so that's really good from a graphic design point. What about components? Well, I'm not going to talk too much about components because this is a Kickstarter game, this is a prototype, so I can't really talk about the final quality here. What I will say is the meeples you have seen should not be the meeples that will be in the game. They're going to have custom robot-esque meeples, but you'll have to check out the Kickstarter to see more details on that, and that is going on now. So what do I think of the gameplay? Well, we'll start where the game starts, with the building of the robot. And I love this. This is probably my favourite part of the game. I'm really keen on drafting as a mechanic, so it's quite nice to have that. The big issue with the drafting is that it's not simultaneous drafting, but you could change it so that it was simultaneous. And I just love the fact that you end up with these different things. You'll have a different robot each time, or you might end up with the same robot because you really like this combination and you manage to get it each time. But because you're not using all those cards each time, you won't necessarily. I really like the thematicness of how once you've done your drafting, it gives you a suggestion for the name of your robot. So we have, from the wheels here, we have Ultra Burn Zord. So we've got Ultra Burn Zord, and then the other one down here is Turbo Killosaurus. You know, these are great thematic names, and the game just helps you come up with those. One thing I would say is I'd like to see more of these cards, and I'm not sure if the Kickstarter will have more. At the moment, there's only 5 of each component. I would like to see probably around 10 of each component, add a bit more variety into the gameplay. Speaking of which, so that gameplay itself, once it's on the board, it's very much, you know, there's very little luck. The little bit of luck you have is in your reset button, and this adds a huge amount for this to me, because I like a bit of luck in a game, and this can do that. You know, you've got that roll of the dice, what's going to change, what will happen, and it can make a big difference what changes on the board, or it could make no difference. You know, you could roll the dice and get loads of heals and yay, that saved me, I can fight now. Or you could roll and get trapped behind a wall and some buzzsaws, and you know, you never know what could happen when you roll that dice. So it's really good. It could be good, it could be bad. Exciting. It adds an element of suspense and excitement there, while you've still got all the planning of, right, well, I know I can move exactly this many, I can track them to there, and then I'll be able to shoot. And so there's a lot of decisions going on. Do you move first? Do you attack first? Do you just attack? Do you just move? Do you run away? Do you retreat? Do you fight another day? You know, there is a huge amount going on, and it all feels very thematic. It's very much, I am hitting you, I am destroying you. Oh, I can see your armor going, oh no, you're healing your armor. You know, you get that feeling. It really does feel like Robot Wars the game. So can 2 play that game? Well, it is a 2-player only game, and that kind of brings me on to my next comment, and it's a weird comment coming from me who tends to play 2-player games only, and it's like, yeah, 2-player, great. I would like this to be more than 2-player. This is a game that it feels like you should have, you know, 10 people all hacking it out until there is just the one remaining. And I'd like to see that introduced as a variant. Maybe, you know, you have to buy multiple sets or something to do it. But it'd be really nice to see, to at least have 4 players. So when you've set that grid out, you've got someone in each corner. That would be really nice. And then, you know, it just adds that extra element of chaos. Oh, I've gone over here. Oh, you're over there. Oh, you're over there. And you can then get alliances and betrayals. You know, I would think this game would really benefit from it. And it's rare for me to say about a game being better with more players, but I really do think this is. And I love this 2-player game. It feels thematic, but it's got this, you know, small box. It's this small little box, but then it becomes this large game as you lay out all the cards. And it has this large game feel, but in a small time scale. You know, you will play this really quickly. You'll get through it in, you know, 15, 20 minutes maybe. And that's fine. You know, it's, I've destroyed you. Right, let's go again. You know, you just mess up the board a bit, change around the cards, there you go. I like the fact that it does have the variable setup on the cards as well. So as well as it being, you know, you've got that element of randomness when you roll the dice of what will change on the board. The fact that each time you play this game, you know, you shuffle those cards up, you mix them all up, will give you a different board. You're going to be playing in a different arena is a really nice touch as well. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Deathbot Derby. I do hope that you've enjoyed this game, and so that's my thoughts on Deathbot Derby. I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and of course if you have, please do check out the rest of the videos on the channel, as well as subscribing to the channel and sharing it with your friends and family. And do also take a look at us on social media. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.